I've been so busy in my life looking forward to where we're going and where we're headed and worrying about this and that, that I never really took a chance to look back and see where we came from. This award and the application process and the fact that it takes you back in time really hit home with me, not only where we came from and what we're doing now, but how many people helped us to get there. I'm Robert Mills Jr. I'm a full-time farmer in Callens, Virginia. We have a cow-calf operation. We run 300 mama cows. We have a diverse tobacco operation. We also are doing some studies with industrial hemp, and we have a poultry breeder house, a pullet house, that houses 34,000 birds annually. Just really after those couple weeks, I decided, man, this is something, I want to be part of the industry. And so I came home and I told my parents, I said, I really have decided what I want to do with my life. And they kind of laughed and said, son, that's a great dream to have, but we don't have land, we don't have equipment, we don't have the capital for you to be able to do that. And you're probably never going to be able to do that for a living. Well, as most young people, when your parents tell you you can't do something, it inspires you even more to do it. There was actually a little farmette that had not been developed at the time, and it was a small amount of acres, 10 to 15 acres. But the gentleman had retired, and actually the farm was kind of growing up, the little farmette. And I went to him and asked him, I said, could I use some of your land to grow some vegetables on? And he said, sure. There was no rent charged. He was just glad to see this kid interested in farming. And I grew sweet potatoes. And those sweet potatoes, I had about a half an acre, and that was my project, and I grew those. That business kept growing, and we got up to about 6 or 7 acres of sweet potatoes. I started contracting with a local grocery store, and so that business kept growing, and we got into white potatoes, and we were contracting those with grocery stores as well as having individual customers. In 1998 is when we bought, by then I had married, and my wife Cindy and I, we bought this farm that we're on here today in Callens, Virginia, which was an 80-acre farm. And next thing you know, a neighbor came to us and said, I like what you're doing, would you be interested in renting my farm? And we went from our 80 acres, and in 20 years, this year was actually 20 years that we've been here, we went from 80 acres to 2,200 acres. And that one landowner has turned into 29 landowners, and we farm in 3 counties now. As being a winner of the Southeast Farm of the Year, we won the use of a Massey Ferguson tractor for a year. It's a great tractor. It's actually the first Ferguson that's ever been on this farm. My youngest son, he loves it, and he got out here one day and was just riding around trying to figure out how everything worked, and next thing I know, he was hooking up a piece of equipment, said, I'm gonna change out the tractor I'm running and run this one today. The hood design on this particular tractor, the hood falls off in the front, so you can see the front end loader better, which is really nice when you're spearing bales or loading with a bucket. But more importantly, this is the first tractor we've ever had that actually had a cab suspension system under it. And when you're rolling over these terraces and diversions and hay fields, moving hay and through some of the mud and muck, the cab rides really good. Even though the tractor's shaking back and forth, that cab rides really good. And that's been a really neat feature that we've never experienced before. The young people that want to get involved in the industry, I will tell them that it's a long process. You're not going to graduate from college and be a full-time farmer the following year. You've just got to figure out what your ticket is. What is that one commodity that you can produce? What is that one farm decision that you can make that may open up that opportunity to take what is part-time and you love and turn it into a full-time career? We live in a day and age where we want everything immediately. And if you look back, it took me 17 years before my dream really came true. As I tell people anywhere that I go and travel and speak and things, that only you know your heart. And I knew in my heart that this is what I had to do. And I made this statement, I said, I would rather be 55 years old and have tried and failed than to say, be 55 years old and say, what if?